I think when playing video games, we tend to overlook one key aspect of our personal experience. Motivation, the drive to continue on, is the most important feature in a video game. As a game could have wonderful design and excellent writing, but if there's no drive to continue, no one would play it. One of the main worries around Tears of the Kingdom upon its launch was that it would ostensibly be the same as Breath of the Wild, that their gameplay mechanics and worlds would follow nearly identical lineages, as Tears had opted to use the same iteration of Hyrule and reuse a lot of the core gameplay structures. But after playing Tears of the Kingdom, I can tell you that nothing could be farther from the truth. These games are so different that it barely feels like a sequel at all. This divergence happens in what brings you back to the game over and over, what makes you think about it when you're working, what makes you play it for just 20 more minutes when you need to sleep, and what causes you to fall in love with all of it. They are drastically different games, and it all comes down to motivation. Breath of the Wild is a game about ambiance, the joy of trekking through vast spaces and the relaxation involved in the flow of nature. Subtle music, wind rustling through grass and open fields. Navigating them was at the heart of Breath of the Wild's experience as you glide off of towers, sled down mountains, and ride a sand burrower. Tears of the Kingdom, however, is a game about curiosity, about every point in the world drawing the player in, a game about forcing the player to experiment, and a game about pure wonder. Ambiance and curiosity are very different ideals to build a game around, and while both have DNA of the other's motivation, it becomes hard to view them as similar when enthralled in their worlds. Breath of the Wild offered up a vast depth to spaces, as every area had the potential to contain secrets. It made the world feel bigger as you searched every nook and cranny, but most of these spaces were left empty. The joy came from bounding through them relaxingly until one did sneak up on you. But Tears of the Kingdom fills every potential space, so rather than journeying through the world, you are being pulled from one piece of intrigue to the next, from one spotting of a three-headed dragon immediately to the sight of a falling block that can be ridden back upwards in time into the sky. It takes the visual intrigue of Breath of the Wild and turns it into visual knowledge, as you chaotically try to remember all the things you had plotted out, multiple threads you wanted to chase, each of which could take you an hour or so to complete. Curiosity always overcoming main goals. You might be forging forward to get a dragon tear from a glyph, but then a sky island pops into view and you are drawn away on a whole new adventure. Your rampant curiosity always forging past your desire to stay on task, as there are just so many points of interest, and flying by all of them to continue an objective would take an incredible feat of willpower. The world is designed with visual check marks, and when one is checked off, 5 more appear. But the curiosity that takes hold of Tears of the Kingdom lies in more than just its world, as its mechanics create a wide array of ideas and dreams that leave the player with an itch to play more and more, as your desire to experiment and craft gives way to tackling situations in all sorts of different manners. While you could experiment in Breath of the Wild, a limited suite of abilities meant that fighting a boss head-on was usually just the best method. But in Tears of the Kingdom, the possibilities are endless, and the bosses are hard, meaning that if you don't find new venues for achieving victory, you are likely to lose until you do. The game wants you to cheese the boss, fly a bomb ship into a fight, and create wacky winning strategies. And traversing the world is much of the same. In Breath of the Wild, traversing was riding a horse or gliding from a tower, but in Tears of the Kingdom, traversing is whatever you want it to be. It's creating an airplane, making a car, or catapulting yourself for miles. It is a sandbox for traversal, one in which new methods for covering space continue to reveal themselves as your curiosity propels you farther than any machine could. All of this said, I do miss Breath of the Wild. Tears of the Kingdom is a wonderful game, but I do miss the calm that came from gentle exploration, the excitement that came from the new approach to subtle sound design, and the joy found in its simplicity. These games set out to do vastly different things, and Tears of the Kingdom excels in creating curiosity. It excels in making an endlessly replayable sandbox. It is excellent and better in so many ways, but the feeling of entering Hyrule for the first time and gently flowing through its world was something so undescribable and so unreplicable. I love Tears of the Kingdom, but I also love Breath of the Wild. They both hold deep places in my heart, and they both pull me along with vastly different motivations, creating experiences unlike any other, immersing me into their worlds so that I may become lost in their excellence.